Venus in the 7th house, you gotta learn that flawless relationship doesn't exist. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nara and here we're discussing astrology, spirituality, psychology, relationship dynamics, shadow work, whatever you want to call it, in order to transform, level up our lives and attract love, career, relationship, whatever you want, right? By working on our limiting beliefs, using our Pluto, using our 7th house as a shadow and transforming it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Venus in the 7th house for relationships. I do have a video about shadow work that I posted a few days ago. Actually, this video was requested, explained that 7th house is really your shadow and it's something that you wish to get from another person, but in reality you need to give it to yourself and understand the psychology behind your 7th house so that you can do the shadow work properly, have more clarity in what's going on, change your perception on your situation, and experience a shift, in this particular area. So 7th house is relationships, long-term partnerships, it's marriage, it's, legal matters, it's ruled by Libra and Venus. It's all about connecting with other people. So if the 1st house is me, the 7th house is other people. But on the same token, 7th house represents your shadow self, or part of you that you're not necessarily accepting, but because you're not accepting this part of you or giving that to yourself, you are either projecting it onto other people or emanating the frequency of, lag, so other people come and give you that lag. So you're pretty much attracting the 7th house archetype qualities that are either good or bad depending on how aware you are of your frequencies, your thoughts, thought patterns, your placements, your tendencies. How much are you aware of your shadow? Because your shadow usually, creates your reality. It's not your conscious mind. Okay, so Venus belongs there. It's an exalted placement, but depending on the sign that you have it in, and obviously aspects with Pluto and Saturn, we can see whether it's easy for you to experience love and perfect partnership relationships of Venus in the 7th house. Now, Venus in the 7th house have this image of other people, like of a beloved, as someone who is really, beautiful, creative, who is artistic, who wants long-term partnerships. That's how you see, like potential partners. And you may be blinded by your own perception because you want someone beautiful. You want someone with a good taste of music, someone with a good taste of clothes, art pieces, being that sophisticated. You want those kinds of partners, but in reality you may be attracting the opposite of that, having like that such an idealistic view on relationship. Because why? Because you're critical of other people. So you're critical of other people, that's your shadow, being critical and judgmental. That's why you decided to come up with a solution when it comes to your relationship. Your subconscious mind has that, okay, when I attract people, they gotta be perfect. They gotta be this. They gotta be that. And you just have so much that you put onto them. It takes the enjoyment away from dating, from being in relationships. So, like, lots of expectations. And I'm offering you, if you want to manifest the relationships of your dreams, I'm telling you to give that to yourself. Can you start living beautifully? Can you start, giving that taste, that art, that beauty to yourself without expecting another person to give it to you? Another thing with these people, they are expecting other people to actually make them happy. And they're constantly looking for relationships. Like, my philosophy and my beliefs about relationships. You're just, constantly looking for a potential partner. You don't have to be constantly in relationships. But with Venus in the 7th house, they cannot take a break. They assume they have to be connected to someone, always. And when they're alone, they don't like it. That's exactly what makes them engage with new people, or even old. I don't know. Taking that attention from relationships, and even like that desire to constantly want to be in relationships, I suggest you be alone. Isolate yourself, learn your tendencies. Because expecting other people to make you happy, and trust me, I've done readings on people who have this placement, 7th house Venus. They get mad at someone who turns out not to be perfect or flawless. Next, they switch to the next one. Want all that sophistication, but can you give that sophistication to yourself? Can you not wait for other people? And this is exactly what attracts you, the right person into your life. Because when you feel whole and complete, when you understand that you are your own best partner, when you're not expecting other people to be, a certain way for you to be loved, you realize by meeting your shadow that you are imperfect, you are not flawless, okay? And trying to be perfect is actually costing you more, stress. Youth. Being perfect is such a trap, you guys. Like don't. I also had that shit, I would my husband should be this, that, and the other. And in reality, I'm like, why am I placing demands? I realized that I was just placing so much criticism on myself subconsciously, which was manifesting in me, in my desires, in my relationships and how I treat my partner. Nobody is perfect, and we need to understand each other. Relationship is not easy. Like Venus in the 7th, at the slightest imperfection or realization of that their ideal is not real, the ideal that they placed in their head or does not exist, or a person is not that, whatever, they might actually attract Aries types, who are very aggressive and manipulative. But in reality, they overlooked. They overlooked because they idealized relationships. So stop idealizing so that you don't wake up one day to a monster. Because we're all monsters, we're all demons. But are you going to embrace your darkness that you are trying to project onto other people by placing demands on other people, by idealizing, the way relationships should be? That's the biggest trap. So give yourself that love, give yourself that support, ask yourself, why am I acting like this? Why do I want this? Once you've done that, you will see that it was your shadow. As it was your shadow, it's just easier to have compassion for yourself and have this realization that relationship is not easy. We just need to work on it. And you can have compassion for another person because you're going to see by meeting your shadow that you are not perfect either. Why you're idealizing? Because that's just what you've learned. That's how you learned how to deal with your imperfection. That's a trap, realize I'm not perfect and that's okay. And I'm going to be loved. Accept that you're imperfect because you're so afraid to show your imperfection to the world and them to notice however crazy bitch you are. But, accept that. Once you're not ashamed and guilty of it, and by the way, watch my other video about confidence. I just filmed it. Ask yourself why? Because honestly, the main reason is that your shadow is that you are not accepting how critical you are of yourself. Once you accept that criticism and step away from it, it will be easier to stop idealizing relationships and actually attract better, healthier, more fulfilling relationships, partnerships, marriage, whatever you want to attract. Okay? Let me know what your 7th house is, zodiac sign and planets. I love you.